Everyone, it's Erin from the Herrick District Library here with another baby story time for you. I'm so excited to be back. I have some new, and we're probably going to revisit some older songs and rhymes that we've done. This story time is designed for those of us who are expecting infants in our lives through about 18 months or so. It's only going to last about 10 minutes, so you are welcome to watch it together with your infant. Otherwise, feel free to hang out with me. My goal is really to sort of teach you some songs and some rhymes, some easy ways for you to incorporate early literacy in your daily life. Also, if you didn't know and you haven't yet signed up for the summer reading program, I encourage you to do so. You can sign up an infant up through all the way up to adults, so you can do it as a family. And we have some information about how to scaffold that for you. Ask at the youth services desk at either location at the North Branch or at the main library, and we can hook you up with some information on how best to encourage that early literacy work while also completing the summer reading program. I think that's all of my boring grown-up announcements. So let's get started. One thing that I have, that I always notice about young children is that they love to take their socks off. We like to keep them on sometimes, right? But we're constantly taking our socks off. And what I think is pretty cool about this is that it's actually an opposite concept, right? On and off. And they already want to do it. So it's kind of great context. So I kind of made up just a little chant that you can do with them. It's great if they are lying on their backs. And this can be one of these things that you sort of, it can be like play and also while you're getting them dressed, if they're putting those socks on, you can sort of play with this one as you do it. So it's super easy. And I just came up with a chant. Again, I kind of just made this up on my own, but you can make up a tune if you'd like. And again, the idea is to get that concept of on and off for them with something that they concretely understand. Also, throughout the day, as you notice them taking their socks off, commenting like, oh, yes, that's right, you took your socks off. Let's put them back on again. Remember our chant? So you can bring it back up again in the day, throughout the day, as they are taking their socks off and on all the time. So here's how it goes. When you're doing this one for the first time, again, this can be during playtime. It can be while we're getting dressed and putting those socks on. But I would definitely make sure you have those socks with you. And here's how it goes. Socks on. Socks off. Socks on. Socks on. Socks off. Socks on. Socks off. Socks on, socks on, socks off. And that's it. If you just wanted to do the chant as you're getting dressed, I actually heard it, like it reminds me of a commercial from the 80s. So it's like socks on, socks off. Socks on, socks on, socks off. Socks on, socks off. Socks on, socks on, socks off. So you can just chant it, but again, I think it's kind of fun just saying the words and doing it in sort of a rhythm as you're putting those socks on and making sort of silly faces while you're taking them off. And again, throughout the day, as they're in their strollers and they're inevitably taking their socks off, bringing up the concept and saying, oh, look at you, you're taking your socks off, just like the chant that we did, and encouraging them to put them back on again. So I actually came up with that because one of the things that we're hoping to do this session is to sort of highlight our early literacy calendar, which you may not be aware of. It's available. We can email it to you. We have them available in the library. Also, we have a community collections page, and I'll make sure that that's linked in the YouTube comments so that you are aware of it. But I wanted to highlight that because it's another great way to just give you ideas. One of the things I don't like about calendars, early literacy calendars, is that I can get stressed when I see things that I haven't done. Don't worry about that. The idea is to just give you some ideas of things you can do throughout the day that you're doing. So one of the things on the June one was to make a paper bag puppet. And I don't know how many of us have these paper bags. anymore just laying around our house. The library, we in the children's department have a lot of them. But so what I thought what I would do is encourage you to just use a sock and do this with your babies. Just get a sock out and do some talking back and forth. Do some hello, baby. Hello. I'm gonna get your nose. I'm gonna get your toes. Just have some sort of puppet that you can start having them interact with and respond to their babbles. It's just a fun thing to do. If you have a puppet, you can use a puppet, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think it's more about them getting used to talking to another character. So I just encourage you to do that. And I thought the socks on, socks off thing worked really well with a sock. The other thing that I wanted to highlight today was using rattles or a shaker or even a Tupperware container filled with Cheerios. One of the things, rattles in particular, or any kind of shaker, I love it because it can help with hand-eye coordination if they're the ones picking it up. It helps them perceive that sound and that they can touch it and make the sound themselves. And that also works with cause and effect, right? From about 4 to 7 month olds, you can put this right in their hand and they'll learn that when their hand moves, the sound happens. So that cause and effect thing is a really important cognitive concept. So I just wanted to sing a couple of songs and rhymes around rattles. Again, this can work with like an egg shaker. It can work with a maraca. It can work with a little container just filled with Cheerios or nuts or coffee beans or anything that you happen to, dried beans, whatever you happen to have around the house, anything that makes a really fun sound. It would be great if they can grasp it themselves. And just before I get into some of the songs that we're gonna do, another great thing to do with these is during tummy time, after we've done some of the songs and rhymes, to put it just out of their reach and have them grasp for it during tummy time, which can be kind of a tricky time that many of us don't like to do, but is really, really important to help us with our strength and our neck strength. So we're gonna sing a little, well, the first one is a chant, and this is sort of an opposites one, but we're gonna shake it high, and shake it low. And round is how we go. Shake it high, shake it low. Can you reach and touch your toes? Where are your toes? Where are your toes? Can you find your toes? Where are your toes? Shake it high, shake it low. Touch your shaker to your nose, to your nose. Shake it high, shake it low. Round and round is how we go. That's all that one is. So in this case, if our baby's not old enough to do this, they can be on their backs and you can do all of the motions to them. Find that you can touch their toes with the rattle. You can touch their nose. If we're independent and can hold it ourselves, we can try and do those motions together so that we're feeling that concept of high and low. So it's really, really easy to do that one. The next one I want to do is one that I think we might have done before. This is a great way to introduce the concept of stopping before we have to yell stop when something is a really big emergency. We're just going to shake and shake and then we're going to stop. Super easy, but I think that this is a fun way where we can hear it, we can feel it, and it introduces us to the stop. You know, instead of saying no when we're about ready to do something dangerous, we can say stop. And this can help them with that concept pretty early on. So here we go. We shake and we stop. Stop shaking. We shake and we stop. We shake and we shake and we shake and we shake. We shake and we stop. So again, for those of us with really little ones who aren't able to shake it themselves, you're still introducing them to that, like, we're shaking. and we're stopping. So they're still associating the sound, the word stop with it not moving and you not moving. For those of us who are a little bit older, we can hold it with them and get them to stop. The hardest part is getting them to stop. And for those of us who are doing it independently, you can each do it yourselves, and then you can stop and model that behavior for them. Another great way to use our shaker is for some body awareness, so learning our body parts. One of our favorites, we do this as a diaper changing song as well, but you can also do it with a rattle, where we'll be indicating and touching our body parts as we're shaking. So here's how this one goes. Head and shoulders, baby, 1, 2, 3. Head and shoulders, baby, 1, 2, 3. Head and shoulders, head and shoulders, head and shoulders, baby, 1, 2, 3. And then you can keep going. You can go knees and ankles. You could go thighs and toes. You can go really any body parts that you can connect together. So we're going to just gently touch that rattle to those body parts. And then the shake comes in the 1, 2, 3. Again, if we're young, we can do that to us. And if we get a little older, you can do it together where they're modeling that behavior after yours. I think that's the last one we have time for today. Thanks so much for joining me. And we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.